Hi everybody, welcome to another video with Nurse D 101. Today we're going to be talking about cameras in home health. Okay, and we will get to that. But a few things I would like to say before we get to that for the new nurses. Okay, first I would like to say that when you first go, you have decided now that you want to work in home health. Okay, and so I have a few tips for you before you really actually enter into a home health home. Okay, the first thing you don't want to do is be too talkative to the parents. Okay, a lot of nurses think that they need to make friends with the parents right away to secure their job. No, you don't want to do that. You are there to take care of the patient. Let the family come to you. Don't go in there and start venting off everything. Don't start looking up the family to have conversation. They're watching you. They're looking at you to see how you're going to take care of their family member. There are nurses that go in there and think, well, I have to be friends with them right away. So they go look and they, oh, how's your day? You know, these parents, these guardians don't want to hear this. They really don't want to hear that. They want you to come in there and take care of their loved ones. That's what they want you to do. If they want to talk to you and socialize with you, let them come to you. Let them strike up the conversation with you. And believe it or not, they will start venting to you. Because many of these parents have been in this for a long time. They've been taking care of their loved ones for a long time. They're burnt out. They want to be by themselves. They want to rest. They don't want a nurse coming there yapping. Because they'll tell the scheduler, the ones who's scheduling you to go out there, they'll tell this nurse, I don't like the nurse because she talks all the time. She's not taking care of my loved ones. Every time I turn around, she's in the kitchen. She's in the living room. My baby's in the bedroom, and she's up here talking. I don't want to hear all this here. I want her to take care of my child. There'll be some times when you actually go in there that they won't even talk to you at all. Don't take it personally. Just do your job. Make sure everything is done at the end of the shift. Give report and leave. They'll be in the same, they'll look right at you and won't say anything. And like I said, this is the time that they just want you to take care of their child. Now, once they get to know you, then they're going to treat you like their family. You'll be family to them. Okay, you will be family to them. But what I want to tell you is don't go in there yapping and running your mouth, because you're going to lose your job instead of gaining your job. You think if I be friends with this person and this mother and this daddy, I'll keep my job. No, if they see you taking care of their child like you're supposed to be, or their parent like you're supposed to be, then you will keep your job. Okay? I know of one nurse, since the COVID, a lot of people are working at home. And this nurse would actually go into the office where these people was working and just run her mouth. Just run her mouth and leaving the baby out there. And she's in there talking about any and everything under the sun. How I know? Because I had to relieve her. And they're complaining about her. They're calling the office on her, wanting another nurse to pick up that shift that she got. They said she talk all the time. She's not taking care of the child. So this is what I'm saying. Let them come to you, and they will talk to you when they get to know you much better. Okay, that's one thing I want to tell you. Another thing I want to tell you is when you go into these homes to work, make sure you have your belongings and your lunch in a zip bag. Like if you have a backpack, it should have zippers on it. If you have your lunch, make sure it's zipped up. And the reason why I'm telling you this, a lot of homes that you're going to go into, they're not so clean. You're going to encounter roaches. Yes, you will. you're going to see roaches. And not in every home. There are some beautiful homes out there. I have worked in some beautiful, clean homes. But then again, not clean at all. There was one home that I worked in about, I would say maybe about 10 years ago. And this little baby had pneumonia and she needed a nurse. The mother had 4 kids. And this disease passed. The first child was fine. The second child wound up with a G-tube and a trach. The third child was fine. The fourth child wound up with a G-tube and a trach. And they lived in this here home that was actually, I would say, on a roach nest. Roaches was everywhere. When I say everywhere, they was everywhere. Roaches was in the stove, in the refrigerator, in the microwave, in the bed, everywhere. And this is how these people live. Myself and another nurse, she took nights and I took days. We worked there for this baby. The baby was like maybe 6 months old. And we worked there with this here baby to bring her back to health. She was in bad condition. She really was in bad condition. Now you might say, now I would never work in a home like that. I'm not working in a home like that. You know, with a baby that is with a house that have roaches like that. That's when you have to step up and say, I am a nurse. I'm here to take care of this child. So what we did, we kept our little area clean. We made sure, because the baby was actually in the same room where the parents were, in their bedroom. So during the day, the parents was out in the living room. And so we was in the parents' bedroom. And we made sure that we had our stuff right there zipped up. Okay? And we was watching for roaches. It's like, well, one's over there on the dresser, one's over here. But needless to say, we got that baby well. Once we got that baby well, then we was out of there. Okay? Yeah, you work in some places like that, but you're looking at the fact that there's a baby. And this baby, and the parents didn't know how to give this particular care because they didn't understand English that well. And what we had to do for this child, the parents wasn't able to do it. And so if the nurses hadn't stepped up, then that child probably would have passed. And we didn't want that. But the baby got well, and the baby actually started going to a day program. And that's when we left. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you. A third thing I would like to tell you, let me put my glasses back on. Okay, excuse me. A third thing I would like to tell you is, I told you about the zip up, having your everything zipped up. Once you go into start working in home health, another thing, I just want to throw this out there, and then we're going to go on because it's going to be a short video. Don't come in there saying that now you're a new nurse, all right? Don't come in there telling calling the office, telling them that family like you better than the other nurses that's been there. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the oldest trick in the world when somebody wants extra hours. Don't do that. Just go to another agency, pick up another case. There's so many agencies, you got to pick up the list. You can go anywhere you want to go. So once you tell a person, well, when you call the office, say, well, they like me better, just say than Miss D, or they like me better than Laura. So they want me to stay. Now, the parents is not calling. The parents are not saying anything. That's just you saying that. So you know what's going to happen? The office is going to call the parent. They're going to have a conversation with them. And they're going to say, no, we never said that. Because these nurses are actually thinking that the office will actually get rid of you and just schedule them. But they don't do that. They actually get in touch with the parent or the guardian and say, well, we have a situation here. You know, Linda says that you like her better than just say Nurse D or Laura or Ann or whatever like that. And we want to know, are you having any problems with them? And she's going to say, no, I've never said nothing like that before. I don't know where she got that from. No. And see, what's going to happen is she done lost her job. Okay? And the last thing I want to tell you about is cameras. Yes, there are cameras in home health. A lot of the nurses, I know, some nurses, I'm not going to say, yeah, there's a few, a lot. They said they would not work in home health with a camera. Well, why not? Excuse me, my hair is in my head. Why not work in a home that has cameras? Why not? You're there to take care of the patient. You're not there to harm the patient. You're not going to abuse the patient. So you don't care. I don't care how many cameras are in there. Yes, I have worked in homes that has cameras. And it does not bother me at all. It don't. I know that when I go in there, I'm going to do my best taking care of their loved ones. I don't care if they have them coming out of the floor. Some cameras you can detect right away. You can see where they are. I have been in a home where they had this camera. That camera was so little, it was about the size of a quarter. It was right in the ceiling. And if you didn't know, you would never have known that that was a camera there. It's true. There also I worked with a family that had a camera. Now I'm gonna tell you this here. Now this is crazy. She had a camera that didn't even work. It wasn't even. She had it mounted in the corner of the room, facing, of course, us, and it didn't even work. So she called herself pulling something over on somebody. I mean, don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? She called herself pulling something over on somebody. Come find the thing wasn't even wired or anything. It was a phony one up there. That's what it was. A phony camera. It wasn't even working. Most nurses that works on a case, and you go in, they're going to tell you there's a camera in here. They'll tell you, and they'll tell you where it is. They'll get around to it and they'll tell you. Any decent nurse would inform you and say, there's a camera. Not that you're going to do anything to anybody, but they just want to let you know there's a camera. One nurse told me that she went to a job to work with a family, and they had a camera in there. Now she does nights. And she said when she got there to work with the family, they had the camera facing her, not the baby in the crib. Now that's just outright stupid. The camera is facing her, so she's over there in her chair by her desk, and she is taking care of her business. She's doing her notes and everything, and the camera sees her doing her notes. But when she goes to the crib to take care of the baby, they don't even see her doing nothing. They don't see her. Now she's a good nurse, but she can be doing anything to the baby. They're too busy watching her do her notes than to have the camera on the crib or the bed where the child is. So when she get up to go there, they can see her working with the child. What were they thinking? Let's see what this nurse is doing. No, you're not seeing what the nurse is doing. You don't know what she's doing with your child. So yes, I want to tell you there are cameras, but don't be afraid to work with a client and their guardians have a camera. Just go in there and do your job. That's all it is. It's just a camera. Some are working and some are not. But either way, just go in there and just do your job. This here video is going to be part 1 of what you need to know about home health. Okay, I have a lot to share with you about home health. Eventually, we'll get to equipment and everything. But I just want to throw that out there to you tonight, seeing that you have chosen to work in home health, and I want you to know what to expect when you go into home health. Okay? A lot of houses are not clean. They're not clean. Let me say this to you too before I go. I remember working with a patient maybe about 3 years ago, and they were a young couple. She had two daughters. One was like maybe 3 years old, and the other one was maybe, I would maybe say a year. Both of them had trachs and G tubes. So she had two nurses. A nurse for the 3-year-old, and I was for the 1-year-old. Okay? This girl had to be no more than about 18, and she lived in a mobile home. I think a double wide mobile home. Nice mobile home. But you talking about filthy and dirty? There's no word. You can't even explain it. It was just filthy. And I'm saying it looked like the kitchen threw up. It looked like the bathroom threw up. Everything threw up in there. But I went in there and we worked. One day, I happened to go in there. He asked the other nurse too. But one day I happened to go in there. And he was sitting on the porch, the young guy. And he said to me, do you mind, I'm just making up a name, do you mind helping Kelly clean up the house today? That's what he said. Can you help Kelly clean up the house today? I looked at him and I said, let me tell you something. I'm here to work with the baby and to keep her room clean, not your whole house. We nurses are not there for that. They will ask you some of the stupidest things. They think you are supposed to come in and just do any and everything. No, you don't. You keep your area clean. If you have a room, if you go into a home health and there's just, he has his personal room or she has her own room, that's what you focus on. You don't go out there in the living room, in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. You don't do all that. But they will ask you because they think that's what nurses are supposed to do, come in there and clean up for them. You tell them, I'm here for the baby. I'm here for the baby. Okay? And yes, again, they do have cameras. Probably one, maybe more than one. But I just want to let you know that. Now, I will make another video. Please come back and we're going to talk some more about home health. If you want to know about home health, you're at the right channel. Nurse D knows about home health because I've been doing it for years. Okay? So, I'm going to end this video and I'll see you again soon. Bye.